Small business owner check. This is my name. This is the name of my company. This is what my company does. This is why I love what I do. This is an accomplishment I'm proud of. This is where you can find me online. And if you're a small business owner, introduce yourself in the comments and let's support.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition. Welcome to another edition of A Seat at the Dinner Table. I am Simon.
Oh, and I'm Kim. I'm sorry. We're having a little bit of audio, so if you guys cannot hear us, let us know. Have a little bit of audio. If we need to speak up or anything, let us know. But hi.
Hello, everyone. So tonight we are having a healthy 101. This is some salmon with some.
We're having a salmon apple cranberry salad, and I forgot the dressing.
The goulash.
Be right back. 'Cause I need the dressing.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
I got this is live TV. So tonight we are going to be talking about single yet married, living a single life, and all that good stuff like that. And I mean, single and married. I mean, it's all intertwined together, right?
Sure.
I mean, we can hit all those areas of just being married and single, or feeling like that. And this came up in a conversation. Was it over dinner? I don't think it was over dinner. But I mean, here we like to talk about things that we talk about on a normal daily basis, and this is one of the things that came up as far as something that my wife is doing. That she can elaborate on.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah, sure. Skinny girl.
It is. It's good. It's good. But yeah. So we talk about any and everything all day long, throughout the day, throughout the night. Like Mom and I we truly are best friends. So we talk about everything. A lot of times we're on social media scrolling, and he'll send me videos. I'll send him videos. And we'll actually have dialogue around it. So, dialogue. My bad. We'll have dialogue around it. My bad, y'all. But we that's a,
I know, but it has to be there.
anyway. So I found this video on TikTok, and it was very, very interesting because for those who don't know, we've been married 10 years, going on 11 years. And we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot, ups and downs, good and bad. We've been through a lot.
Left and right.
Left and right, okay, what other directions you want to go? So, but this topic came up because I had felt like this a time or two in our marriage. So, yeah, I found a video on TikTok. I think he's going to play it. I'm not for sure. So
Yeah.
you guys can see the video too. But yeah, so here it goes.
Why is it that as moms, whenever we are going through something and we're tired or we're just having a bad day, we have to continue pushing because our kids need us? But when dad's tired, when dad came home from work and he's been working all day and he's exhausted, he needs a break. Why is it that the only alone time we get is sitting on the toilet, which doesn't even work half the time because your toddler walks in the middle of you pooping? You have to rush out of the shower because someone needs you. But dad gets a shower in peace, no interruptions. Why is it that we can go weeks and months without a full night's rest and still are able to get up and take care of our kids in the middle of the night? But God forbid dad is tired. Too many married women are single mothers. And it's really sad because two people made this child, made these children, and only one person is stepping up. How many times does someone have to repeat themselves and complain and cry until you decide no more?
No, we want to get to it.
So, this moment, while he's looking at that, I will say this video, it touched me because I used to feel like this, especially early on in our marriage. It was like,
Wait.
silly. I thought you were about to say something.
No, wait.
Yeah, I felt like this in our marriage, so yes, way back a little bit, a few years ago. But him and I, we have open communication about everything. We speak his mind, speak my mind, different issues and things. But it is a real thing. A lot of married women feel like they are single mothers. And yeah, because there are some bad mothers out there. But a lot of them feel like they're single mothers. And just to break it down a little bit, it's like you are, like I said, married, but as the mom, you're working, you're getting the kid up, taking the kid to daycare. If that's I'm gonna give the scenario like how I felt. I get up with the kid, I take her, get her dressed, take her to daycare, and I was commuting back then too. I had an hour and a half commute one way. So get up, get her dressed, get her fed, get myself ready, get off the daycare. I drop her off to daycare because her daycare was close to my job, so she commuted with me. After work, I pick her up from daycare, come home. A lot of times I would get home, he's not home yet from work because he had like a later shift at the time. So he was sleeping while we were getting up and leaving because he got off of work late. So I would get home with her, take care of her, do dishes, clean what I could clean in the house, get her ready for bed. She come in, try to hug and kiss her. She cries because she's like, "Who is this guy in my face? I just have no idea who he is." And it was that routine, day in and day out. I'm doing everything for her. And then early on in our marriage, I didn't know how to tell him that I felt like I was the single mom, doing everything for her. Of course, on the weekends, because I'm so used to it, I know her schedule. I was doing everything for her on the weekends. She was there, played with her and whatnot, but everything fell on me. And so as she got older, she walked past him, and I feel like a lot of moms go through this. The kid will walk past the father and say, "Mommy, can I have? Mommy, can you do this? Mommy, can you get me? Mommy, this is broken. Hey, Mommy, guess what I got?" And I'm like, do you not see the person you walk past? Speaking now, Nehemiah has walked past his dad in the kitchen and said, "Mommy, can I have a cookie?" And it's like your dad is literally standing in there where the cookies are. I don't understand. And he's like, "Oh, so can I have a cookie?" So I don't like that part. Yeah, but just a lot of women go through feeling like they're married but a single mom. Now, from a dad's perspective, what do you have?
I mean, there's situations to where um, they're very similar to yours, to where you have in a man's perspective that they could be feeling like they're doing everything that they can and doesn't feel like the significant other is carrying their part of the bargain or their load in a sense. And there's times to where it can be circumstances that cause it, such as in one instance it was more so a work schedule, but you can't really. I could have got up and helped her, and then put that as a sacrifice. But at the same time, though, there's some things that communication helps, And there's some things that you have to learn and grow and mature. And when you get married, there has to be an understanding mentally of that there is going to be situations to where you're going to have to sacrifice. And I think when we're talking about in the situation to where you're not necessarily getting the help that you deserve,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it comes about to where there needs to be some type of sit down and hashing out and some truth needs to be spoken. And as the person on the other side of the equation, you have to be willing to have an acceptance to constructive criticism because you may feel like you're doing your part, but in the end, you're
You really
still,
know.
okay, yeah, wow.
If you like beating around the bush or speaking general,
Yeah, I mean, I got to because I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't want to be so specific to my situation.
but be specific to your situation.
I mean, in my situation, I was immature.
Mhm.
I can definitely acknowledge that going into marriage, having a kid, and working and doing all of those things, some people mature faster than others. And in that situation, I needed some growing up. I mean, yeah, I was taking care of kids as far as working and finances is concerned because in my head, that was what it was. Like the man is the provider. And if you're helping and taking care of the lion's share of the bills, then you're the man. And that's what you do. And other than that, you go home, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again. And in this generation, you do have the women working. So they're doing what you would say that a housewife would do, along with working that 8 to 10 hour shift. And that's not fair to them.
It's not.
It's not fair to them at all when it comes to that. I mean, you're both in the same situation as far as working is concerned, and there has to be some type of talk to
Mm-hmm.
say, listen, you do this, you do that, whatever the case may be, but communication is definitely key.
And then, yeah, definitely. And you touched on it. You mature. A level of maturity comes with that type of communication because you can't get in your feelings if your partner is telling you that they need help, they're crying out to you that they need help. You can't get in your feelings and think that just because you bring in, let's say, the lion's share of the income and paying the bills, there is more to a relationship than paying bills.
Definitely.
And then it also turns to your kids don't respect you. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Your kid grows to not really respect you because you're not a part of the day to day of their life if you're choosing to allow your spouse to do everything. And then even if your spouse brings it to your attention, you choose to not fix it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem in itself. And I'm so thankful that with you and I, you were able to hear my concerns, hear my cries. No, it was not fixed overnight. It takes time because people in they different. They different. And you can come 1,000 times. They're different. But he's so willing to hear me out and attempt to help me. I can say the one thing that grinds my gears is when I start to get into that, like I feel like I'm doing. When I get into that mode where I feel like I'm doing everything,
Mm-hmm.
you're always like, just ask, and I can help you. Just ask or tell me what to do. And what do I always say?
You should know. Okay, so yeah, we airing out dirty laundry.
It ain't dirty laundry.
No, but I felt like when we first got together, I told her that I'm a literal type of person, and she is the type that is extremely independent. And there's a lot of times to where I do offer assistance, and it's like I don't need my help. So then it puts me in a bind to where it's like, when do I help and when do I not help? But with communication, like I know that women like their kitchen a certain way and like things in a certain place. And us men, I'm not gonna generalize all men. I'll just put myself out there. It's like if it's put up, it's put up. I mean, if it's organized and put up, it's put up. But They
And
may
I'm
want
not
it
gonna accept
something
that
too
part.
specific. Yeah. I'm just saying, just I got stuff in my teeth. Y'all forgive me.
So let me say this. When he said, I'm very independent, I am. I suck at asking for help and telling him I needed help. But my version of help is, if I'm washing dishes, don't come try to put your hands in the dishwater too, to wash the dishes with me. That's like, huh? You ain't do that literally, but you're like, you want me to wash the dishes? My hands are already touching in the water. No, I don't want you to wash the dishes. Find something else to do because there's plenty that needs to be done. That's my thought process. Yes, no.
Back to the city.
No, but that's the issue though. When I say, why do I have to ask for help? No one has to ask me to do what needs to be done, like feed the kids or, and then this, let me clear this up. This does not happen now because we've had open dialogue about it. You know, with my concerns about things, but it's like the kids don't have to. No one has to tell me that the kids need A, B, and C. No one has to tell me that the dishes need to be washed or the floors need to be swept and mopped. No one has to tell me those things because living in the house, I see it needs to be done. Whereas he would be like, just tell me and I'll do it. I don't have no problem with doing anything that you ask me to do. Like, what would you do if I was not here?
That's the info thing.
Yeah.
We'll get specific before we get back to the general.
Okay.
I told her the way that my mind works and whatnot, especially with like what I'm trying to do. A lot of times my mind's consumed with a lot of business things, extracurricular activities.
Mm-mm.
But
It's fine.
well,
Sorry.
so 9 times out of 10, it's not that I don't see it or don't want to do it. It's just the fact that like I'm on one track mind, and when I get deterred, it's like, oh yeah, it is. I should have did that. Or like there's times to where you're talking about sweeping the floor or whatever, and I see her with a broom, and it's like, I was supposed to do that. I had it in my mind to do it, but then I got sidetracked with something else. But all in all, when it comes to a situation like that, to where you feel like you're in a position to where you do everything,
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship, there has to be a time to where you have to sit down and talk with your spouse
Yeah.
and lay everything out, emotions and all, and the other party has to be willing to receive it and not receive it in a malicious way or feel like they're coming at them, but like at the end of the day, you took those vows, and that vow is an oath that you're living by.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't say in the vow, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of tickle. But I don't lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
What was it? What was that one? In marriage, you're gonna have to put in work, and a part of that work is communicating with each other. And there's some things that go unsaid, and we are human, but we are also two different humans. She's a female, I'm a male, and we all grew up different ways and have different traits and things that the way that we see things. And when you're combining that and trying to align two visions into one, you have to have a sense of maturity. You have to have a sense of tough skin. You have to have a sense of wanting to be a endless learner and learning yourself, learning your spouse, and avoiding those pitfalls to where you could be to where either one feels like they're single and doing everything in there. Now I want to kind of flip it because I mean when we're talking about in this situation, the mom taking care of the kids and whatnot, you have people that are married and single and pretty much live apart.
Mm-hmm.
You have those that sleep on different couches, or beds. Sleep on the couch, sleep on the bed, and we're not talking like on some angry night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on a consistent basis, you have those that are like, hey, I got to babysit my kids today. Like, you as a mother or father should never feel like you're babysitting your own kids. That's my humble opinion. But I think those tie into being single, but married, because those type of things do happen. I mean, we have those that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying time outside of your relationship with your friends. But when it becomes a constant, we're like, where's the unity in the marriage? Like, oh, they're really the roommates at this point.
You don't want when you used to like always go to DJ's house and play
Wow. Wow.
Again, that was early on in our marriage. That was like year one, honestly. And it was like, wow, this was my husband.
I was young.
You were.
We were just, I was talking about general dream, but specifically then.
That is what mess with you. Because we've come through that and come so far from it that I don't have that issue. I don't be like, hey, this is just a babysit the baby.
How would you never said that? You never said babysit or watch the baby.
I say can you watch the baby? But I mean, that's like as a general term, like, yes, watch the baby.
Yeah. I mean, that, like you said, that was going on. Because I'm going out. I was transitioning from being a single dad to being married, and I had a lot of wanting to be out and used to just being out and doing, I don't say doing whatever, but like was able to go over this friend's house, go over that friend's house, and whatnot. Like I was still young-minded. I'm not saying hanging out with the family is young-minded, but I was on a different type of time, and really not understanding the balance, and then really seeing like, okay, my marriage could fail because of it. And it would be because of my selfish actions. And I have a vision as to where I want this marriage to go, and I'm not even putting forth the effort to make it to where I want this vision to go. Like I'm married, but I'm like moving like a bachelor that's full of a bachelor.
And we the whole time struggled to even try to go anywhere because I didn't want to leave the baby with him because, especially when Kiani was a baby, I didn't want to leave the baby with you, as me having to explain her whole routine and whatnot, and I'd be scared. Like I'll just say it.
Like, I'm like that. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but a lot of them, and I think that was my issue too. You shouldn't have to figure it out if you're being involved in the day to day. And I think, especially early on, that was my issue. I shouldn't have to give you this rundown and leave you a list like this. Because of course there's certain things you just ain't gonna know. But I felt like I shouldn't have to give you a whole rundown like I'm leaving my baby with a actual babysitter or something and giving them a list of things to do. I know if you're involved in the day-to-day routine, even just a little bit and being focused, you would know what to do. But going to that video, the one thing the girl was saying was, you can't even get alone time as a single mom. But one thing that I can appreciate is you not a single mom, like the whole married while single while married. Couldn't get away, her alone time. I follow a lot of different TikTok stories and things like that. I hear a lot of people talking about this. Like, it's toxic. The baby will be crying. Mom is actually relaxing, doing something for herself. The dad will come out there, here, I don't know why she's crying. I don't know why she's crying. And it's like, okay, figure it out. Like your dad, I'm literally trying to do something else, or I'm taking a shower, relaxing right now. Now I have to stop what I'm doing because you don't want to take the time to figure out your own biological child. I think that's a lot of people go through that. A lot of people go through that. Hey, I gotta run to the store. Well, take the baby with you because I'm watching TV or I'm playing my video games. Like what? Me, I'm a little different. I'm not dealing with that. I will speak up on something, and we're gonna have this conversation about it, I'm not done with that. And I'm not coming at nobody's neck. I'm not coming at nobody's relationship or anything. But for me personally, I can't deal with that because if I have to do all of that, why am I with you? I'm gonna be by myself, and I'm not gonna be stressing about why you won't help me with our child. I can just be by myself with our child and do everything I need to do, and have no expectation of someone else or having to argue with someone to help me out with their own child.
No way, no way, no way, no how, no yeah. Oh, for some reason, I forgot. It just popped in my head. I mean, overall, I think this break comes down to communication.
Mhm.
That's like the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, is the fact of if anybody feels like this, you need to have a talk with your significant other. Y'all need to talk. You need to go to therapy or something. But
Individual and marriage couple therapy.
yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, like y'all are two entities coming into one, and bringing two different perspectives. It's going to be a bumpy little bit. And at some point, I mean, every like marriage, all of marriage isn't bliss. It isn't all peaches and cream. Like anybody that can tell, huh? Well, how you just contradict yourself?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
That's a lie from.
Wow. Now she goes, what are you extreme?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a lie from the pit of hell.
I'm just saying, for anybody to say that their marriage is peaches and cream, I mean, right? I mean, right? Come on, bring it back. Come on.
But I mean, like every relationship has its ups and downs. Even friendships have ups and downs. Like there's times where you don't possibly talk to friends at all. And you got like there's different elements of I don't even know what the word to say, but there's different things in relationships that you're gonna have to go through and fight through. And communication is one of the biggest things. Um, and communication from the start is even more helpful. I mean, we went through some things to where we had to learn, like, yo, we really need, like, we had no problem as far as being completely honest with our feelings. It was just the fact of, are we going to offend the other if we say how we truly feel? And then it got to a point where it was like, all right, like, in order for this to actually go where we're going to have to stop walking on eggshells and say whatever you need to say. And
I'm say it was usually me and my son that was doing it.
yeah, my wife, she has a sharp tongue. Has a little. That's what she thinks. But I mean, it's what is it? A nice tone turns away wrath or something like that. When we're talking and communicating, like when you come off as offensive when we're trying to just communicate and get a problem done, then of course one will be offended. Like, yo, we're trying to get something to a resolution. Like, there's no reason to be kind of on the offensive. But that we've gotten past that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not so.
She likes saying that, but she's not even holding up to her.
No, I myself know because I can't handle being yelled at. Don't yell at me, the world will shut down. You get nothing from me. So that's one. Listen.
But that's a part of learning each other.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and communicating and understanding one another. Because, I mean, nobody wants to be married and single at the same time. That's confusing.
Yeah.
I would think so.
It's very confusing. It is very hard. It's very.
And even we've had a talk that like, yo, if
we've had, what was you about to say? We've had pictures will go right off.
Back live, back on.
Mhm.
So,
You lost your thought. So, married while single, trying to help you
is
get
it
your thought back.
confusing? Okay. We had to talk, and she for some reason would be like, oh, you know, I would tell her, yo, if I felt like I was going to leave you, I would have a conversation with you and say, hey, this ain't going the way I thought it was going to go. And why everybody else didn't do that? When it's cheating. Like, I mean, if you want to be with a polygamy, if you want to participate in that, let me know right off the bat. If that's what you do, say each his own. But communication, I don't know. It's like because even like being in marriage and then you feel like you're single, you may end up cheating. But it's like if you want to do that, you want to have multiple partners. Why don't you be upfront and say that that's the type of person that you want?
Mhm.
I even seen one of these rappers, somebody they ended a relationship with. He was like, yo, she didn't understand how I do things as far as how I cheat. Well, not even cheat, but how he with multiple whatever.
Mhm.
Even Michael Blackson on
Oh yeah.
the couples retreat or whatever was like, yo, I go outside of a relationship once a month.
You feel out. Like it was a thing that they had.
Right. And like, yo, I'm not. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And he, to me, I gained more respect for him, not just because of the overall thing. Like I believe in monogamy, but if that's what you want to do, I'm not you. He was upfront with her and said, "This is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're going to be with me, this is what I am right now." And she agreed to it. But they had communication. Now, if she wants to go back on it, she needs to talk to them about it, and then they need to revisit as to how the relationship is going to go. Back to communication.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that feedback.
Yeah. I feel like every topic we talked about, as far as marriage goes, it always boils down to communication. Always. And like you said, in any type of relationship, it's always communication.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel for bringing it back a little bit to the married while single, that's more like a single parent. I feel sorry for people who are in those types of situations and they feel like they can't talk to their partner because it's. I think I've been in relationships where you just I couldn't communicate or openly communicate and express my feelings and stuff with someone, and that's a bad feeling. That's a bad feeling and a bad situation to be in because then you're going to be miserable. How can you evolve as a person if you can't even communicate openly and express yourself to grow with your partner?
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible, and I give it one. I would not recommend. I know it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Easier said than done to say like I'm not going to be in that type of situation, but I know for me,
Well, you're not in that situation.
I didn't say I was.
Okay. Maybe sure you understand you're not in that situation.
I know I'm not in that situation.
Okay.
I haven't been through too much in my life to be in this situation now.
You're right. You wouldn't have been here, right?
We're not. We're not.
10 years strong.
10 years strong,
That means
baby.
I must be doing something right,
A little bit.
A little bit. Decades. A little bit. You got to be a little off if I'm just doing a little bit and you still here 10 years, what's happening?
I need to hike.
For what? We already got kids.
I can't reach this top cabinet.
Man, you are 6 foot. If you don't get a
I
step
can't
ladder,
stand there.
wow. That's what it's come down to. The fact that I'm tall, I can reach stuff.
Boy, you know I love you. Oh.
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 So,
It might be a short show tonight.
I mean, it's about 36 minutes. That's some good content
Mm-hmm.
on being single.
It's single parent.
Single
basically.
parent.
It's not just
Well,
being
single mom
married
married.
while single.
Listen, the only thing I ran off.
Well, if you listen to the actual video, she was talking about being a single
No, I
parent.
did, and I let you express that, and then I went my way.
You went another one. Okay.
But it all brought together just the whole topic of being single while married. That's how she felt, correct?
Yes.
And she was a parent. But there's some people who are single and feel like they're single and married without kids.
Okay. You're right. See? So you're right. Number two.
This is the second time on that? Oh man, I need to cut these up.
In 10 years.
Wow.
Hey.
You are.
I'm a class act.
Well, you sure are class act. You sure are class act. You sure are class
I am that.
sure. You like money. You go this way. You turn me somebody else.
What's the good thing?
Is it? Oh, okay. Oh, he will also be good.
Nope.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna alter my hair. You might put it on me.
this is actually a real life thing.
All day, every day. What? Why you do that?
What?
Why you do that?
It's not all day every day.
That we banter back and forth?
No, it's not all day.
Banter's not bad.
Is it good?
Yeah.
How do we get the banter?
I
You
don't know.
said we talking about single people that are married.
You said it.
Don't be out in the club.
Help your wife with her baby. Help with the housework.
Right. Right.
But she's tired too. She go to work.
Right. Are you supposed to do that?
Nope. I'm stating facts. Bullet points. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I'm stating bullet points.
Okay, so let me say that.
Go ahead. I've been waiting for these moments. Go ahead.
Let me wait for moments like this. I didn't told you stuff. We didn't wait for these moments. I already told you everything.
Sometimes it comes later on, and I feel like then I find out
Oh,
who's
Lord.
way about something. Yes, we communicating. Tell me what you feel
We are.
like.
We
What
are
I did. Did I make you feel like a single daddy?
Huh? That one time.
When I had surgery and I couldn't do nothing?
Nah, what you mean? I came through.
That's what I'm saying. Did I make you feel like a single dad?
Nah, why would I say yes?
I don't know. I can give you an example.
But that's a horrible example, kid. I would be a horrible person. If I would have said yes, I was a single father because you tore your ACL and you couldn't walk and move, and I had to take care of you and the kids. Why would I feel that way? That's a part of being married.
Some people don't feel that way.
And to be quite honest, I thought it was my fault. I invited you to play in the co-ed league. So, like, I felt guilty all the way around, even when you're looking at the league. Yeah, feel guilty. I know, but you tore your ACL. I'm just saying. I'm not.
Only a matter of time.
Okay, we're going way off of the topic.
You started it.
I did not start. It's too much.
Hmm.
All right, so simplyshondell.com.
Ain't nothing on there right now.
Okay,
But no. So let me go and do a little plug.
please.
I'm coming up with some fall color schemes right now. I want to do a new collection. I'm getting these ideas together. I am hoping to have this new collection by October. Don't hold me to it though. But follow me on Instagram at Simply Shondell and follow me on Facebook at Simply Shondell. Follow me on those platforms and you will know what's coming up. I got some things in the works, so the wheels have been turning right now on simplyshondell.com. Ain't nothing there. All the products are gone. All the products are gone. Fresh start. That's why I had to clear out sales. So thank you to everybody who supported that. But everything's gone.
All right, so
Talk your stuff. Talk your. Oh, sorry.
You
Talk
got
your stuff.
Mr.
Talk
Ward,
your stuff, brother.
Ward,
Mr. Real Estate Tim.
Real estate and
Let's
one.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're looking to purchase or sell real estate in the state of Delaware, you can reach out to me either through either dinner table, DM, my Instagram, real estate 10-1, real estate 10, number one. Hey, wow, you are not supposed to laugh. You are supposed to be the supportive wife that waits until it says cut to laugh at my error.
Sorry.
Oh, you have to
I'm
love
sorry. It caught me off guard.
this. Oh man.
I'm glad I wasn't
Oh
doing
Lord,
I'm sorry.
All right.
Good.
All right, we think
Mm-hmm.
how we take it live. That's live. They're not. Wait, real estate 10-1, the number one at the end, or through Facebook, or 302-283-9270. You know, just cut me out the cut. You're horrible.
What's that word today?
You cut me, you did the clap in. So you
It's live. We on TV.
Okay. All right. So, no way to go.
No, no.
No, this is regular. So, until then, like and subscribe, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook.
And YouTube.
YouTube as well.
Let's try to jump in there and take over with me stuff.
So, thank you for joining us. Like I said, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, on all the social media platforms and stuff, Twitter, so you don't see. Until then, peace. Have a good week. Yes, no.
I did.